Alright, what's up, y'all? It's my second week of doing lives. In just a second, Cammy T is going to join me, or CTXL. We're going to talk about the difference between college soccer recruiting internationally and then also domestic. What's up, Hunter? How you doing? So, like I've said before, I'm going to try to do this every Sunday if I can. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Francisco? How y'all doing? Alright, me right now. What's up, Hunter?
Hey,
How you doing?
yeah, not bad. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Alright, y'all.
Am I frozen for you, by the way? I'm still frozen on mine for some reason.
Yeah, it's kind of buffering right now, but I can hear you.
Right, okay, well, it should show itself out. This is like, internet should be fine in here, but um, you can hear me fine though, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Oh, my bad. What'd you say?
Do you want to just introduce myself or whatever?
Yeah, just one sec. I'll say something real
Okay,
quick.
cool.
So, this is Cammy T. He's from Scotland. He's gonna be playing D2 in Alabama next year. He's also got a YouTube channel, so I'll make sure to link that. Y'all can check it out. If you just search Cammy T, you should find him. But I'll just let you introduce yourself a little bit better than I did right there, and we'll get started.
All right, that was a good job. Yeah, so my name's Cammy. I've got a YouTube channel called Cammy T, and yeah, I'm from Scotland, and then I'm moving in August to play D2 college soccer in Alabama, as Josh said. And yeah, my YouTube channel is mostly about just kind of try to help people that were in the same situation as me, like a year or two ago, and kind of want to pursue college in America and don't really know how to go about it or what the process is. So that's what I'm try to help people, make it easier for them, and that's pretty much it.
All right. So, some of the questions I just had. First of all, I was wondering just how you even heard about college soccer because there are a lot of international guys, and like every year, more international players are
Yeah.
coming to play. But in Europe, how did you hear about it?
Yeah, I want to say it was like maybe 2 summers ago was the first I kind of heard of it, and I'm pretty sure it was through a Facebook advert for an agency in Scotland, and I saw like them saying something about like college soccer and like a photo of like a massive stadium and like this packed out stadium, and then I guess I can't quite remember, but from that point, I think I just kind of started to look into it a bit more and try and like see what it was all about. And yeah, like obviously there's no real coverage or anything of it here. Like I'd never really heard of it before. But yeah, when I kind of heard about it and a bit more about the kind of opportunities you got and the facilities and like just playing every day, just got a lot more interested in it from that point, really.
So was that just really interesting to you because like was it mostly because you want to go to a different country and go to school and play soccer at the same time, or what
Yeah,
was
I guess I think the main thing was probably like I'd always kind of planned to go to uni or college if I stayed here, but it was kind of one of those things where
oh,
really excite me. I wasn't like, uh, yeah, it didn't really excite me or anything like that. And then when I kind of heard about the opportunity of getting a degree while playing, like day in, day out, it was probably that was the main thing that attracted me to it. And
mhm.
also the kind of opportunity to do something different from all of my like friends here who were just kind of staying. I thought it'd be quite cool to like get out and do something different. And yeah, that's probably my best answer for that.
And how popular is it over there? Like obviously you said it's not much coverage, but did you hear about anybody else doing the same thing as you or anything like that?
Um, yeah, well, funnily enough, actually, like when I hadn't really said to anyone that I was planning on doing it, I kind of wanted to get like a bit more info on it and kind of try and pursue it before I started telling people that I wanted to do it or whatever. Apart from like my family, of course, I hadn't really said to anyone else. And then, funnily enough, a guy in my team I overheard him talking about like how he was going to trial for this agency that like was getting like college scholarships and things like that. And when I heard him doing it, I still didn't like say anything. I just kind of kept thinking about it and keeping it to myself. But then that was the first I'd kind of heard of someone else that I knew being interested in it. And once I started to tell more people, I would kind of hear like, "Oh yeah, my friend did that," or like people were saying. So like, there's definitely, I think it's growing, and like when you speak to people about it, they'll normally say, "Oh, I knew someone that did that," or something like that. So there definitely is people that do it. It's not um, like completely unheard of, but obviously not many people. Yeah.
And then college soccer over there, do they have a lot of schools that you can play you can play soccer and go to school there? And is it set up similar to here over in
Yeah, so
UK?
they'll have teams at the unis and things here, uh, but it's kind of like some of them I think so. There's like a uni in England called like Loughborough, I think it's called, and I don't know. Do you know the YouTuber Connor O'Keefe?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
He's like a goalkeeper, and he he went to that uni. I think he now plays professionally, but like that's pretty rare and like far rarer than like people going into college in America and then going on to play at a higher level. Kind of here, it's mostly like a kind of Sunday league standard. You'll have the occasional team that take it a bit more seriously and that'll maybe play friendlies against better teams and things like that. But for the most part, it's just kind of like guys getting together for the fun of it and playing. It's not really anything serious.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering because I hear a lot of people talk about like college soccer here. It's definitely not the best system, especially if you're going to play pro. But it is,
Yeah,
you do get a lot of training, and it is taken pretty seriously. So that's,
yeah,
I was assuming maybe that's how it is in UK. Is it's more, just kind of play for fun while you're going to
yeah,
school. So
yeah. I mean, there definitely is teams that will have good players on them and things
yeah,
like that. I'm not saying that there isn't, but I think like in general they'll maybe train a couple times a week max, and like that'll be it kind of thing. But yeah.
yeah, because over there you guys got all sorts of ways to go pro in all sorts of leagues. So if you just care
Yeah,
about
like it's
whatever,
pretty much just through academies here is the main thing, really. Um,
yeah,
Other than that, it's pretty rare. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I definitely don't think it's the best system. I think it's getting better and it can get better. But
yeah,
if we want our professional teams and our national team to be better, we got to start doing what y'all are doing. But as for me,
yeah,
if you want an education and to play soccer at the same time, this is probably the best way to do it.
yeah,
Because I knew I want a degree. So
yeah. That's the
trying to
exact
play
same for me.
pro. Sorry, what'd you say?
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, it's the exact same. Like I want to have that kind of backup and like getting an education as well. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Because like if you're trying to go pro and get a degree at the same time, I can't imagine trying to do all that and do all of that on the night.
yeah,
Not be stressful. Something
yeah,
else you talked about in one of your videos, I think a couple actually, about the SAT and the standardized tests over here, and then
yeah.
doing them in Scotland. Not, that was something I never really thought about for international players, but it is like that is an American thing. So then, was that like kind of a hassle to get the SAT and take it over in Scotland?
Yeah, it wasn't. I wouldn't say like it was. It wasn't too hard to like actually book it, and there was like two test centers in Scotland that you could do it at. One of them was like only an hour drive, so that wasn't too much of an issue. It was more so just like, I mean, I showed the book on my channel when like that arrived at my house. That was like the first I'd ever like seen, and it's this like massive book. And that kind of was like, oh geez, what is this going to be like? Because here it's totally different. It's like you have an exam at the end of the year in each like of the, I think it's 8 subjects you do in your earlier years and then 5 in the kind of last year. And that's like the exams you'll do, they'll all be specific to that subject. So I'd never done something where it was like one test for just maths and English and it was like that kind of general. So like that was definitely new. And then also it being multiple choice, you don't really get that here at all. Um, it's pretty rare to have. Like you'll maybe have a couple of questions at the start of a paper and then everything else is like written. So that was definitely different. But I mean like once I actually got down and started to like study it and stuff like that, I felt like it was okay. But it was definitely like that's kind of what I was trying to get across in the videos is like it's probably different from a lot of the stuff that people will be doing here and it's yeah.
Mm. What's up, Alex? What's up, Caleb? If you're still watching, yeah. So what was I gonna say?
Can you
So
see me moving by the way? Because my camera's been like frozen this whole time.
I turned off my Wi-Fi and went to data, and it still is black. So just wait 1 second. I'm gonna see if this will change anything. The screen is just black for me, but I've heard you this whole time. So, and if people are watching, they're probably just listening anyways. Nothing to really see here. But can you still hear me?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I can still hear you.
So when you took the SAT, you said you got a book, and then how did
Yeah.
you did you go to your school and they had like a special thing set up for you to take it? Because here we have days where we already plan ahead, and then we go to
Right.
like a high school and they already have teachers, all the desks, everything's set up. So we just walk in, take the test, walk out. Was it similar for you when you took it?
Yeah, when I sat the test, like we had to go to this. It was this school in Edinburgh, which is like the capital of Scotland, like an hour from where I live. And when we went in there, it was all a room full of like other people sitting the test for various reasons. I mean, probably most of them going to America for something. But yeah, like it was a room full of people sitting the test. But with like the studying and leading up to it, I don't even think I told my school, to be honest, that I was doing it because they had no idea really what it was, or I probably wouldn't have been able to offer much help with it. But I don't know if you have it in America, but I use this resource called like Khan Academy online, and it's like SAT practice was like one of the best. I couldn't believe it was free, to be honest, when I was using it because it just had so much stuff on it. I felt, and that was probably the main thing I used, and just doing like the practice tests. But
yeah, that's what I used mostly when I was preparing for it, and it was like super
yeah,
helpful.
it's really good. Yeah,
Yeah, it helps you work on all your weaknesses and stuff.
yeah.
It's really
The other thing with it that I said in the video, I think, is like, just the cost of it because you have like an international sitting fee as well, which is I think obviously you wouldn't have in America. So even though like you can sit it more than once, when I was preparing for it, I was kind of like, yeah, I don't want to be like try to sit this again afterwards. I want to try and get it this time.
yeah. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
so
fairly expensive even here. And then I took it twice, and the first time I got a good score, and then I tried to take it like a week or two into summer, and my brain was already like shut off. So I got like
yeah.
100 less the second time. So but I had a good score the first time, so I wasn't really
yeah,
disappointed. Just like I might as well try again. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, I still like considered after I got it the first time, like thought about sitting it again, and then just ended up kind of deciding I was happy with it and just to take it. But yeah.
So when you're emailing coaches,
Yeah.
you told them like right away, like I'm from Scotland, I'm international.
Yeah.
Did they ask for, obviously you wouldn't know exactly what they would say to domestic players, but the way they replied, do you think they're saying or asking things that were different they would ask from players here? Like they had different requests?
Yeah, that's interesting actually. Probably not actually, because from what I can remember when I emailed, like I mean, I always put in the subject line, Scottish defender, and then my SAT score, and then I think my height or something like that, and then obviously explained a bit more in the actual email. But most of them that would reply, it was kind of like, oh, we've got this trial, like, or camp that you should come to. So I felt like when they were kind of saying that, they were treating it as if like I was just another kind of guy in America wanting to do it. But whereas obviously for me, attending like the camps wasn't really possible. It was kind of like I've heard of some people who like in the UK they've gone on holiday with their family to America, and they've like reached out saying to a coach, like, I'm in such and such place, could I come to like a tryout or something like that? And they've actually got in that way, which is pretty interesting. But I was kind of trying not like planning not to go to any camps or anything, which obviously added quite a lot of difficulty with like a lot of coaches are just less likely to take a chance on you if they've not seen you play live. Like you only get so much from a highlight video. So I think for the most part they kind of just treated it like I was anyone else. But yeah, like obviously with the camps they were still suggesting that, and I was kind of like probably not going to happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was something I was thinking about because a lot of the coaches, when I emailed D1 or D2 schools, like one of the first questions is, "What's your schedule? Can we see you play live or
Yeah,
come to this camp?" And it's
yeah,
like, even for me in America, I can't afford to be going to all these
yeah.
different
I guess
schools
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and getting hotels, and
yeah.
so I can't
So
imagine like internationally that must have been a lot harder because a lot of those coaches like they just say like we'll not recruit you unless we see you play live. So,
yeah, which like when you think about it as well, is it's pretty fair. Like I was kind of thinking if I was in that position, would I like want to take a chance on someone I'd never seen play? I don't know.
yeah,
So yeah, you can understand it, but
yeah,
uh,
that is pretty crazy just thinking about only watching a
yeah,
video of someone and
yeah, yeah. Because pretty much what happened with me was, I mean, I'll just kind of talk a bit more about how I kind of came to emailing coaches and stuff like that. When so I went to a trial like last summer with an agency in the UK that like tried to like help people get out there and get scholarships and things like that. And they actually did like a showcase tournament in England in December just there. So I think like maybe I'm not sure the exact number of how many coaches were there, but there was like a few D2 schools there definitely, and like a couple NAIA ones. But that was the only opportunity I had to play in front of any coaches. And then I didn't end up getting recruited from that. There really wasn't many coaches there, I don't think. And yeah, just nothing kind of came of that. But obviously, it was pretty good for like my highlights and stuff like that, and I used a lot of it. But I ended up, and like this is something that I kind of try and say a lot on my channel, is that even though I was with an agency, I still like really tried to get myself recruited as if I wasn't with an agency and just kind of worked at it myself as well. Because I just thought like if you're with an agency, there's like however many, maybe like 100 or more people there also trying to get recruited. So they're like their time's going to be split, and like there's no one going to be as focused on you as you would be if you're just doing it yourself. So even though I was with them, I still tried to like really email a lot of coaches myself. And in the end, that was how I got recruited. It was from my own email, and not through the agency. So that's like something I try and say a lot as well.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say is obviously I don't know anything about being an international player, but I think especially being international, I tell everyone here to put yourself out there, email coaches, but especially when you're not
Yeah,
from America, it's like they're just assume they're never gonna find you, and you're gonna have to find them.
yeah,
And even here,
yeah,
there's so many players. You know, you think if you're just some decent high school or club player here, that they're just gonna find you. It really never works like that. And
yeah, no,
just
for
the best
sure.
way to do it is just go out there and ask them yourself. And the agencies help a lot, but that is, I mean, I'm assuming
Yeah,
for you that's more satisfying too. And it's like,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, and also like I was. It's funny you should say that because I had like written that down and underlined it. Like when you're an international, even more so than that if you're in the US. Like coaches, no matter how good you are, you're not going to be on their radar. Like they've got no idea who you are. So even if you were like playing like Messi or whatever, like they don't know. They're just not going to know unless you email them. So that was like something pretty important that I think like you need to know, especially if you're outside of the US, is that you need to like let coaches know that you want to play and that things like that, because otherwise they're just not going to hear anything about you probably.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
In some ways, I think now more and more players are coming. Obviously, like
yeah,
you said, it's going to be really hard for them to find you. but that is also
Yeah.
kind of an advantage for you because a lot of coaches are like, that looks great on our roster having an international player, and
Yeah, yeah,
I think
for sure.
the D3 level has probably been the slowest to get international players, but
Right.
during the next few years, going to be a lot more rosters with more and more international players, and it really is
Yeah.
going to increase the level because, I mean, you guys are miles ahead of us in the U.S., so a club player here versus a club player in Scotland,
Yeah.
Europe, almost any other country, naturally you guys are probably going to be better on average. So,
Yeah, I suppose, yeah, and that was actually kind of something they said to us, like at the start of the process with the agency. They were kind of like, a lot of the US still wants to recruit internationally because it's a newer sport there. It's not as big as some of the other sports, and they're still looking at other countries that have maybe played it for a lot longer to get people from them from coming in. So yeah, I think you're definitely right about like colleges wanting international players and things like that. It's definitely something.
yeah, even for the universities, it looks good for their stats and things like that. Like, oh, we have
Yeah,
international players here and international students. Um,
yeah.
so then, I know you said you didn't really get to play here. Did you ever go on any school visits or anything like that?
No, not at all. So like that was something that was pretty crazy when I did like a Zoom call orientation thing with people at the uni that I'm going to, and when I said that I'd never been or like I'd never seen the uni or anything, they couldn't believe it, and I was like, well, like because it ended up being like the unis that I had offers for and that I was deciding between. It was like one in Colorado, one in like Ohio, and then a few more scattered all over the place. So it was like I couldn't go and visit them all anyway. I was going to have to pretty much pick one that I would go and visit if I was going to visit any of them. So then what would be the difference really? Because they were just scattered about all over the place. So I think like maybe if I had a few in the one state or like in kind of close proximity, I might have tried to get out and visit them. I mean, obviously that probably wouldn't have happened anyway because of the whole coronavirus. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like I think people are normally pretty surprised when I say that like I've never seen the uni or been to the uni.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, did they have like a virtual tour? Did you just see pictures? Did they just tell you about it? How much have you
Um,
really seen the campus?
well, I mean, like it started off with like I contacted schools pretty much that were like near my SAT score, and then I contacted schools in different divisions kind of thing. I didn't really put any limits on where it was because it was like I was going to be moving away from home like pretty far no matter what. So I was kind of like, well, it doesn't matter where I'm going really. So I pretty much emailed all over. And then when I had like the interest in this school and I spoke to the coach on the phone and things like that, he put me in a group chat with other international players that were on the team. So like there was a guy from Sweden and then a couple of other guys, and I think that was maybe something that stuck out with the school that I ended up picking because I felt like they had a pretty big international group on the team, and I was like, well, there's a lot of people, coming from abroad going to this school, and from what they had said, they really enjoyed it. So pretty much it was just from speaking to people at the school, and then yeah, they had like a virtual tour and obviously photos of the facilities in the school and things like that. But I think probably the main thing was having that kind of being able to reach out to people and see what they thought and their opinions of the school was probably pretty helpful when it came to deciding.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah.
What was the school in Colorado you looking at? Was it D2?
Yeah, it was. I think I commented it on one of your videos because you mentioned it. It was CSU Pueblo.
Oh yeah. I was just
Yeah,
wondering. Yeah, I visited there, and that was one of the schools I would really want to go to. And I met the coach and stuff, and they got a nice campus, and
yeah,
I think
yeah,
they're a decent team. And I don't know how much internationally like players they have, but
yeah, yeah. No, so pretty much it just kind of came from that, just speaking to people and seeing, and then try to kind of find out as much about the uni I could online, like a lot of like the kind of like review websites and things like that of people that have been to the unis and watching stuff on like YouTube to see. I kept like searching all the unis that were interested. I was always going to YouTube and see if there was any players doing like day in the lives at that uni to see if I could like try and get a bit more of a look at what the uni was like. But didn't really have any luck with that. There never really was. But I just kind of tried everything to like find out as much as I could about the schools, which again is something I would say like to anyone on the channel, like just try and do as much research as you can because it's like obviously a big decision.
Yeah, I can understand too. Of as crazy as not going on a visit, it is like either way, you're going to be in a country, you've never
Yeah,
been to, never lived in, and it sounds like you wanted school and soccer to be most important, which those probably should
yeah,
be the most important to you when you're looking at schools.
yeah, yeah. I think also I got really good advice from like a coach that I spoke to on the phone. Um, it was a school in California, like a Cal State, one of the Cal State schools. I can't remember which one. And basically, like I was chatting to him on the phone, and then he said he was actually a Scottish coach, and he was like, I'd really like to see you play before I like recruited you or anything. Which, as I've already said, like I totally understood. So it kind of ended up like there probably wasn't going to be a chance for me to go to that school, but he kind of gave me some advice and was just like trying to help me a bit. So he was like, a good piece of advice I could give is like, if this is something that you want to do, you're not going to get a better offer or know any more about it if you don't just take an opportunity and go out and like start and just go somewhere. Like staying at home another year and like delaying it or something like that, you're never going to learn more about it. Like just get out and do it. That was kind of his advice. So I think I probably took that on board quite a lot and was just like, I know I want to do it, so I'm not going to get like I just need to go out and experience it.
Yeah, that's some good advice. Do you remember what
Yeah.
Cal State that was?
I'm trying to remember. I feel like it was Monterey, maybe.
Monterey Bay.
Yeah,
I met
yeah.
a
I think it
couple of
was
the
that one.
coaches at a camp, and when he said he was Swedish, I was like, or
Oh no, Scottish.
Scottish,
Scottish.
yeah, my bad. Because I remember
Yeah.
I met one of them, and he definitely had like a European kind of name, and he had like an accent too. So I was wondering. So I met a couple of those guys.
Yeah, it probably could have been him. I can't remember his name, but yeah, he was a really nice guy, like giving advice and stuff like that. So that
Yeah.
was definitely good. Yeah.
So when it comes to, oh, and by the way, guys, if you're in the live, if you're watching, if you have any questions, just ask them in the chat. I'll try to answer them. But as far as like cost goes for the school, other than like obviously like you're saying, if you went on visits, that would have been way more expensive for you. Are there,
Yeah.
again, it's probably hard for you to compare to players here or students here, but were there other things about going to school there that were more expensive, or the scholarships worked different for you, things like that?
Well, this is going to surprise you now. I've not even said anything about this on my channel, but university and college in Scotland, not in the whole of the UK, England is different, but in Scotland it's completely free. Like everything at university is free. So, yeah, like your education is absolutely free. Like my sister goes to a uni here. Yeah, like it's free. I think you might have to pay to live on campus, or obviously if you have your own flat, you have to pay. But
Mm-hmm.
like tuition is completely free. So like that was obviously um pretty different from everywhere else. But I also think there's probably a bit of a balance with that, like it being free for Scottish people, you maybe don't get access to maybe as much like as great facilities or things like that. And yeah, so and then also like with that, a lot of schools here rely on international people coming because they need paying students from somewhere, and it's free for Scottish students. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, that is pretty different from America. But so basically, if I was paying a penny in America, I'd be paying more than here. So yeah.
Wow. So does your family or like people think you're kind of crazy for paying all that money to go somewhere else for school?
Yeah, I don't know. No one's really said anything about it, but I suppose like it does sound a bit like, why would you be doing that when you could
Yeah.
just get a free education? But I think a lot of people kind of when I tell them about it and stuff like that, I think it just sounds pretty cool and like it's something they've never heard of, or and they're pretty interested in it. So normally that's kind of the first thing they'll say, like, "Oh, that's so cool. You're like moving away and stuff like that," because obviously a lot of my friends are just staying here. So I think like that's probably more of the attitude than like, oh, you're an idiot for
Yeah.
paying. But there definitely is a bit of that probably like, and I guess it's understandable. But yeah, yeah,
Caleb asked, "How old are you?" He said, "Because I know a lot of international players start their freshman year at an older age."
yeah. So I actually just turned 18, so I'm starting my freshman year when you guys probably would as well. I just left school in well, I should have been finishing school like within this month, but obviously I finished school like 3 months ago because school shut early because of coronavirus. But yeah, no, I just finished school, so I would have been going same time as all like yeah. So I'm 18.
Yeah, something you were just talking about with the costs and stuff. Sometimes it is tempting because here we have like community colleges, or they'll call them junior
Yeah,
colleges, JUCO, and they're 2 years, and they're way cheaper. And a lot of players,
yeah,
normally a lot of the players that go there, um, they want to stay local, or maybe
uh-huh.
right out of high school they weren't good enough to go to a D1, D2, or they just didn't want to and save money, or the grades weren't that good.
Yeah.
But JUCO, kind of ironically, I guess a lot of those schools are really good at soccer, and
All right.
could probably beat a lot of us D3 schools.
Yeah. All
So,
right. That's interesting.
what do you say?
No, I'm just saying it's interesting.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah. No, you're good. Yeah. So, but then the four-year universities, almost all of them here. I think a lot of them are way too expensive. But yeah,
Yeah.
like you said, a lot of those D1 schools, especially if you're an athlete, they got super nice facilities, and you do get a lot
Yeah.
of incentives to join the team and scholarships
Yeah.
and things like that. But that's a
Yeah.
whole another subject.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me just check. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else I want to say about like uh the process of it.
Yeah. So, do you have anything else you want to add, or any questions for
Yeah,
me?
no, that's what I'm just checking out. Like, I think like something else because like obviously you're saying about like do people think I'm kind of crazy going to like pay for school and stuff like that. I think something that like I would want to say about that is like, and I say it on the channel a lot. I've never played for like an academy or like a pro youth team as we call them here.
Mm-hmm.
So like Celtic under 18s or whatever like that. I've never played at that. I've pretty much since 11s started when you're like 12. I've always kind of played in like the top division of like club here. So I don't like obviously it's pretty hard to compare that to America, but it's kind of like maybe the top teams in kind of the first division will play friendlies against like the pro youth teams, kind of that level. So it's just kind of below that. But that's something I try and say on my channel a lot is I've never played for an academy, so that was something that was really attractive to me with the whole US thing was like the opportunity to play every day in like a really competitive environment where like a lot of people are wanting to like push themselves and become like the best that they can be and play and like have all a bit more kind of pressure to perform and like having to be fit and things like that, whereas here it was maybe a bit more of like a some guys on the team will be fit and like they'll maybe try a bit harder, but some guys are just kind of there for fun. And that was something that I was definitely attracted to, like just like that more serious and competitive uh, team and league kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, obviously, I understand that. Like coming here internationally, that would be pretty crazy. I mean, it feels like for me, just going like 2 states away, that's like a whole new experience. So I can't imagine,
Yeah,
doing it internationally, and then just like in your life, that's going to be a really cool experience, and you're gonna.
yeah. I think that's definitely something like that was probably a big thing with like my family were supportive about it for that reason, even though like it would cost more or whatever than going to school here. It's kind of like the kind of life experience you get and like doing something different and just kind of like the amount that they thought I might get out of that and going somewhere different and just kind of experiencing a lot more than I might get the chance to if I just stayed here was a big thing with it. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, so
yeah, and then like over there, like you said, if you're trying to play in college, then it's not taken as seriously. But then if you're trying to play
yeah,
pro or get into an academy team or something like that, and trying to go to school at the same time, that would be really stressful and hard too. So then here, yeah, it's expensive, but they do a fairly well job merging those together. So
yeah, for sure.
it's a cool experience.
And also, like, you've seen with people, like, I think even the Jack Blake on YouTube talks about it, where he was in an academy until he was 18 or 21 or something. And then just like one day out of nowhere, he gets like cut from the academy team. And then because there's not that balance of you can try and pursue like going professional or getting to play at a higher level while getting a degree in an education, there isn't as much of that option here. It can really leave people like with like a unsure on what to do if they've been pursuing that and then all of a sudden they've not got either. So I think like that was probably really attractive to me as well. Just the balance of both. Yeah.
Yeah, and then over there too, it's if you're not in one of those academies and those top leagues, it's really hard for those non-league players. Then you're having to work side jobs, and
definitely,
all sorts of things just to keep playing. So
yeah, no, definitely. And the one other thing that I just want to say before is that like another thing that why I started the channel before I'm actually out in America, because like I wasn't sure whether to wait till I was actually out there and then start kind of talking more about it or just start it now. And one of the reasons I did was because I really wanted to try and get that like show the kind of contrast and comparison and try and make it a bit clear what like the difference in level is between playing club here and then going out and playing in college in America, because you just have no idea. Like I said, like there's no coverage of college sports here. So like, even though I knew I liked the idea, but I had no idea what division would I be playing in, like, and what level was that going to be and things like that. So that's like something I want to really try and show to like international people who are in the same boat that don't really know what the level is going to be like.
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously people like with your channels are good for that because you can see much more of them in depth, like day-to-day basis and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, even here, there's people that are totally lost and still don't really get college soccer, the different levels of it. And it is really complicated. I mean, for us in it, like while we're playing in college, some of it's like common sense. But when you think about a year ago, I had no idea about how much of this really works. So, especially for you, that's pretty much like unprecedented too, because I have a lot of people DM me from other countries asking about college soccer. I'm like, to be honest, I don't really know anything about what it's like to be you. I can just tell you the general things. Like,
just kind of giving me advice, yeah,
like just email them, reach out to them. So now I can point them to your channel, tell them you.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, plug it.
Yeah, so anybody else got questions before we go? You got anything else you want to say, Cammy?
I'm annoyed if I've stayed frozen the whole time. I don't know why that's happened.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's just kind of something to listen to, anyways. But you're good.
Yeah, just say it's a podcast.
Yeah, I'd rather hear you than see you and not hear you. So
yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think I'm about to wrap up. Thanks for everyone who watched live. I'll be posting this on my Instagram and then on YouTube in a few weeks. Hopefully it'll work. Y'all won't be able to really watch it, but you can listen, and that's the whole point, anyways. So but thank you for joining me, man. Appreciate it.
No, thanks for having me. It was good. Good chat.
Yeah, y'all go check out his Instagram. He posts training videos and other sorts of posts. And then he's also got a great YouTube channel, like you mentioned, about international college soccer. He's posting some training videos lately. And like I said, you just search Cammy T, you should find him. His Instagram is ct.excel. I'm going to be doing these every Sunday, try to keep this going for a while. So thank you, man. Appreciate it. Looking forward to keeping in touch.
No, thanks for having me. It's really good. Thanks for plugging the channel and the Instagram as well.
Yeah.
All right. See you later, man.
All right. Later. Have a good one.
Bye. You too.